Hitting record. Okay. So the main thing folks will want to do is have a chair, and if you're welcome to have the chair, leaning against a wall if you want stability or anything. We're not going to be doing so much raucous behavior in the chairs that it's going to be tipping the chair over, but that's always an option for you. And one of the main things to do is also make sure that your feet are on the floor. And so I needed to put a little blanket, just one fold of a blanket underneath my chair, because with my short legs at 5'2", my feet don't easily sit on the floor so that my back still gets to be in good alignment. So when I'm sitting, I'm not sitting back like this. I'm sitting on my sits bones, and then my feet get to rest, and my legs are parallel to the earth, my thighs. So go ahead and find yourself just seated in a chair. We'll start in the chair. We're actually going to do the class in the chair with some movement around. But go ahead and find yourself in a comfortable position in the chair. So if there's a back to your chair, feel free to scoot your seat all the way back. Let your hands rest wherever is comfortable. And then really allow yourself to arrive in this seat, in your chair position. So it's not the usual way we start our yoga class, but it's nice to mix it up. And it's also a place that you are often finding yourself, which is in chairs of various sorts. And so it's a good reminder to our nervous system, to our muscle memory, to our internal organization around when we are just living our day-to-day lives, that as we arrive in any place, that we can take a moment to really arrive and allow our bodies and our beings to arrive, get present, and be comfortable. So whatever your day has been up to this moment, allow it to flow down from your head, down your shoulders, and down your chest, and into your pelvis, and then down through your thighs and your legs, and then down into your feet, and then down into the floor, then all the way from the floor down into the earth that has the great capacity to absorb our woes and all of the tumultuousness we may be experiencing at this time. And as you breathe in, allow your body to be this big, beautiful, soft container, filling with air, filling with prana, life energy. And as you exhale, allow your body to be this vessel that allows that prana and that life energy to move through you freely, lovingly. Breathe into the back body. You may not have a back on your chair if you have a folding chair, but if there's anything on the back of the chair, see if you can just allow that touch to be a little reminder of that sense of breath and of presence in the back body. And if there isn't anything back there, just sense into the back ribs, the back of the shoulder blades, the back of the waist, the back of the head, even the back of the ears, allowing yourself to reside in that portion of the body. These are difficult times, to say the least, and so my aim in this practice tonight is to help us feel resourceful in our alignment with our bodies, taking care of our bodies well, and also nurturing our sense of well-being and self-care. As I know that these can be really feeling like emotional times, and the orange sky and the smoke and the bad air quality is really something. So allow your ability to receive this care that you're giving yourself through this practice. Really allow for that capacity within to get your best bang for your buck, your real money's worth here in just receiving a sense of nurturance from this practice. Because we can stay healthy, we can stay feeling good, feeling self-care and care for others, even in such critical times. So together in our little online community in this moment, let's just expand our sense of receiving care and even sharing that care with one another at this time so that we can get through this with as much wellness as we can. So wherever your hands are, just allow a sense of your shoulders to drop, the weight of the arms to rest down, and your spine to lengthen, so your sit bones and your pelvis, it's kind of nice to have a chair to allow the pelvis to be nice and heavy down and to feel the length of the spine growing up and long from this seated position. Again, the legs should be in, the feet can be up on a towel or a pillow or a blanket so that your quads don't have to be activated to have your legs seated comfortably. So with your hands resting, let's have them rest on your thighs for a moment and just feel, in a sense, the weight of the arms, the elbows, reaching down toward the earth, and the forearms more or less parallel to the earth, maybe at a bit of an angle, but that the weight gets to move all the way from the shoulders down to the hands and then transfers into your thighs and then down into the chair and down through your feet. So this sense of groundedness and connectedness down is helpful. It's helpful to be reminded of that. And then simultaneously, this length of our stacked spine rising up from the pelvis, holding our mighty skulls and heads and our brains right on top. So balancing your skull, that heavy bowling ball weight, right on top of the pelvis. And sometimes I need to sit back a little bit. I often find that, unconsciously I'm perched a little forward. That's pretty common. And so when you balance your head right over your pelvis, it might ask you to engage your belly muscles a little bit to keep the spine erect and to keep the whole spinal column in a good alignment so that your head, you're supporting the weight of your head, not with your neck muscles and not with your shoulder muscles, but actually with your whole core, front and back. So now go ahead and bring your hands lovingly to your belly. No judgment here, kind, friendly hands that are just simply feeling, holding a kind of a firm hold right here, just to sense the belly as you breathe. And then bring the hands to the back, behind the waist. And just sense your body here, inhabit your body here. This is a place that especially women can be, we can be self-critical here, but this is such an important part of our body in terms of helping with back health and just moving with good alignment through our days and being able to move with strength. So just really sensing this part of our body. And now let's bring our hands to our heart. And just breathe here for a moment. Perhaps sensing any emotion. And imagine some warm, kind, and friendly, supportive hands on the back of our heart too. Just knowing that we are supported. Breathing into this and just noticing what you notice. Nice long exhales here, letting any emotion move down the body and out through the feet. Beautiful. Now gently let the hands lift off and relax down toward the earth. Just let the fingertips hang down toward the floor for a moment, and gently let your chin come to your chest. As I was practicing for class today, I noticed that my neck was really tight, and I think that just some of the anguish of being stuck inside and all the smoke is just tightening some of my trapezius neck muscles. So let's give a little gentle stretch to the neck, and now just gently rock your right ear over toward the right shoulder, letting your left fingertips reach down toward the earth. And now back to center, now the other direction. Big full belly breath. And then exhale your chin back to your chest. And now gently tip forward on your pelvis, unfurl your spine and let your head come back up and then sit back. And now bring your right or your left shoulder up toward the ear, and let's do some big shoulder circles. Bringing that shoulder forward and letting the head and the neck and even the torso move as you do this motion. Beautiful. One more big one. And exhale. Now we'll go to second side, taking nice big circles. Generous. And one more big one. Let the whole body and even neck move. Great. And now we'll do both shoulders and rock forward and back as you do these shoulder rolls. So feeling some movement in the pelvis. Great. Now release the hands, and now take your left elbow back behind you and reach it forward, and then reach your arm across. And then release that. Second side, right elbow goes back and forward. And then first side again, back and forward, reaches across. Right elbow goes up and then forward and reaches across. Great. And now shift forward, arching the back, and then back, rounding the spine. So I'm sorry, we should scoot forward so we have space to move back. So now letting the chin come toward the chest, rounding the spine. So we're kind of in the hissing cat position in a chair. Inhaling to come forward, arching the back, letting the throat get a stretch, gently lifting the chin, shoulder blades slide down the back, and exhale forward, round. So you can hold the bottom of the chair if you like, and take your own cat-cows here, going forward and back and playing with the chair. It's fun to be able to use the chair. So I'm holding the chair right now to be able to sit back even further. Inhaling forward. You may not be able to do that. That's fine too. You can also just have the hands on the knees or the thighs. Exhaling to round. Let's do 2 more. Exhaling, really rounding, letting the shoulder blades slide off the back as you inhale, really sitting forward on that pelvis. And exhale, come back to center. And now begin to make circles with the pelvis. I like to widen my feet a little bit here so I feel more balanced, but make a big full circle as though you're going around the whole dial of a clock. And see if you can go nice and slow, feeling the musculature of the core engage here too. And let's take it to the second side. Feel into the movement of the back here. Really, you can get some nice extension and flexion. Get into the sides of the waist. And now just go ahead and take this in any direction. Just do a little bit of an improv dance here, taking all of those movements that we just did and going in any and all directions. Can also spread the hands and fingers and give the hands and wrists a little bit of movement. And if you want to move the arms too, you can. Let the head and neck get some movement. Beautiful. Now come back to center, place your left hand on your left thigh, and then slide it forward. Let your right hand go back and take a nice little twist and use this hand against the left knee and push the knee into the hand and the hand into the knee. So you'll feel that engagement in the core as you twist back. Come back to center, second side. So knee and hand push in toward one another, reaching back, twisting back. And one more time each side. So this is both a twist and a core engagement here. So you're feeling the core hug in, the waist, sides of the waist, the belly. Coming back to center and second side. Beautiful. Coming back to center. Now bring the left arm up to the sky and reach it back. And take one more big circle. And then, reach it up again, and now grab onto the chair wherever it makes sense. So I have a chair with a back like that, so I'm going to bring my hand to the inside. You may be able to cross it, basically grab onto the chair somewhere, and we're going to now do a second set of twists where you're using the hand behind you to help leverage you back. So I'm grounding with my sits bones so that my seat is nice and anchored down, and then I'm twisting. So you can grab the side of the chair, the back of the chair, the top of the chair. And still my right hand is pressing into that knee and that knee is pressing into the hand. Take a nice full inhale and then exhale, come out, shoulder circle. And second side, so we're going to bring that right arm up to the sky, and again. And then this time we're going to bring that hand back behind us, leverage it on the chair somehow, and take a twist, but keep your belly forward and actually moving in the opposite direction of the twist. So I'm pressing my knee into my hand, my belly is also going to the left, and yet I'm twisting to the right. Big full inhale, exhale, unwind. Good work. So now let's hug that right knee into the chest and do some ankle circles here. Both directions, can spread and crunch the toes in. Now go in any and all directions. Curl the toes, open the toes, let the toes get some stretch. Beautiful. And now engage the low belly. Press your sit bones down, lengthen the spine and bring your hands underneath your thigh, interlace the fingers, and now let's extend that leg long. Imagine anchoring that thigh bone into the hip socket. Feel the belly engage here. And then bend once again, hug that knee in, and then one more time, lengthen that leg forward. Beautiful. Place the foot down and then windshield wiper the knees back and forth. And then come back to center. Now second side, hug that right foot in, that right leg in, and then do some circles with the ankle. Switch directions. And now take it in any direction and get those toes to stretch. Great, and now bring the hands underneath the thigh, engage the low belly so you feel that core engagement, and now extend the leg, toes up to the sky, bend, and extend. Great, and then place that foot down. Now come back to the first side, so left leg is long, come to the edge of the chair. Hard to see, my toes are up. And so my leg is straight and long, and my toes are flexed up to the sky. We're gonna do yeah, see, you can see now. So now I'm gonna come right onto my sits bones. I'm even moving the flesh of my bum out of the way a little bit. So I'm right on the edge of the chair. There's a curve in my low back that stays intact. And now my left leg is long here, and I'm gonna just hinge forward until I feel the stretch, which I don't have to go very far here. So I'm gonna stay here. Now you can hold on to your chair, can also place your hands on your knee. So see what feels comfortable, and really get a nice, good, long stretch in the back of that left leg. Now, if you'd like to fold forward, you can do so, bringing the hands onto the shin, toward the ankle, or onto the floor. And then I'm gonna roll up and come to second side. So now I'm gonna extend my left leg long, flexing the ankle so the toes are up toward the sky. I'm reconnecting with my sits bones here on the edge of the chair, and I'm just hinging forward at the hips. Nice full breaths, breathing into the back of the body, softly into the back of the heart. And making sure it's not just your big toe that is reaching back towards your shin, it's also your little toe. So the foot has some balance as it reaches back and isn't just sickling in. If you'd like, if it's available to you, go ahead and round forward, bringing your hands to wherever is comfortable and makes sense. Take a nice full inhale and then round your way back up. Replace that foot and then widen the feet a little bit. Inhale to lift and arch, and then exhale, place your hands on your thighs and come forward, coming into a forward fold, letting the head dangle between the knees. And then let the head shake out a little bit. Go side to side. You can even give a little bit of massage to your neck here since it's in a nice elongated position. Take a nice full inhale, and on your exhale, press into your feet and your hands into your thighs and round up. And inhale, do another arch forward, shifting forward onto the front of the pelvis, and then taking a forward fold. And if your hands are on your thighs, that's fine. They can also come onto the floor and do a little bit of a side to side action. Can you see me? Yeah. So I'm now going side to side. I'm letting my head and my neck sway here. And then come back to center. Now just allow the head, the top of the skull, to just reach toward the earth and lengthen the sides of the neck just based on gravity alone here. Take a full inhale, press into your feet, engage the low belly, and round the spine back up. Beautiful. Now let's do a side to side action, just taking the shoulders and lengthening the sides of the waist here. Just going side to side. One more breath in and out, and coming back to center. And now take your right leg and cross it over. We're going to come into a figure 4 stretch, which is also quite fun in a chair. So remember, you can do this when you are sitting at your desk and you're feeling tight, and your hamstrings and your hips could use a little bit of stretch, or your hamstrings, or rather your hips in this case. So I'm still sitting on both my sits bones. I haven't just shifted over. Taking a grounding breath here, making sure that my ankle is not, my foot is not sickling here, but that my foot is free. And you can even place your hand on the bottom of your foot and then take your top hand and hold your knee down. If this hurts, sometimes this hurts my leg a little bit, you can add a little bit of cushion here under the ankle, or just adjust where it is so it's not hurting the quad muscle. So I'm giving a little bit of pressure onto my foot, and I'm pressing the knee down, and then I'm just once again shifting forward, hinging at the hips to come toward my knee. So if you're ever having back stuff, low back problems, or any immobility or injury in the back, this is a great way to get some stretches without doing your standard practice on the mat. So taking some breaths and arriving in this shape and feeling the stretch in the hips and sending our breath there. Breathing into the back of the waist. And on your next inhale, let's come back up and release the hip, release the leg, and give a little bit of massage here. Move the knee back and forth. And then let's come to second side. Again, feel free to take the time to get something for your feet to be under if your feet don't easily reach the floor. Wow, so I'm really feeling a difference in my hips. You probably will feel a difference in the hips too, in the tightness. So I'm gonna press my foot into my hand and my hand into my foot. I'm gonna find a good place for my ankle to not be painful on my quad muscle. And I'm gonna use my hand to gently push into my thigh or my knee, even before we get started. I'm gonna reconnect with my seat here. I'm gonna reconnect with my abdominal muscles that are holding in my waist. My shoulders still move down away from the ears. I press gently into my foot that's on the floor and take an inhale. And on my exhale, fold forward very gently. Find the edge of sensation and just take a moment to breathe there. Be present with your hips there. And you may find yourself staying right where you are, or you might go a little further. But we'll be here for a few more breaths. Lengthen both sides of the neck here so the shoulders aren't creeping up, but your neck gets to be long and elegant even in this shape. Beautiful. Take an inhale, and on your exhale, go ahead and bring yourself back up and bring the foot down, and give a little wiggle with the knee back and forth and some massage to the hips. Great. All right, so now we're going to do something that I think is kind of fun, a new way to explore our lunge poses. So your chair might determine if you can do this or how you do this, so make adjustments, and if need be, you can just do a lunge without a chair at all. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to come onto my right hip, and begin to straighten my right leg back behind me and sit here on my right leg, whereas my left leg is now back behind me. I have to use a fair bit of abdominal strength to keep my torso facing forward. So I'm essentially in a lunge, but without, it's not very weight bearing. So my back leg is strong and I'm pressing into my back heel, so my quad is really engaged, my back quad, and my front leg is level with, it's parallel to the ground and it's not using a lot of strength. So we get to do some other things here. So now I'm going to take my right hand, I'm going to bring it to the top of the chair, the back of the chair, and bring my upper body, my torso upright. I'm going to use my back hand here on the chair to help my body be upright and to really shift my torso forward, so I'm getting that nice long stretch here in the hip flexors and in the quad, the thigh, the back thigh, and I'm really able to try to square my hips. So my low belly is engaging, so it's an abdominal workout here, and then I'm going to bring my my left arm forward and up, and then reach and lift my heart up to the sky, take a little back bend in the upper back here and reach. Now, if you want, you can bring the second hand up. For me, I lose my grip a little bit because of my anatomy plus the chair. So I'm going to keep my back hand on the chair. I'm going to reach up and reach my back leg and really lengthen my spine, lift my gaze, lift my heart. Feel the work. One more big inhale, exhale, release, come back down and come back to center on the chair. Sit forward on the chair so that your pelvis is right on the edge, and then just gently round forward, chin to chest. Inhale to lengthen, and then bring the knees back to center. Align the shoulders and the hips and the pelvis, and just take a moment to bring all of the muscle groups back together, back to home, and just notice what you feel. Nice full inhale, long exhale, and we'll go to second side. So I'm going to bring my legs wide, my feet wide, and then I'm going to swivel now onto my left leg. So my left thigh is on the chair, and my right leg is the back leg, and it's reaching back. So this back leg is really strong. My heel is reaching back, and I'm going to try to anchor myself here. Take a moment to feel this shape and use my back, my left hand to anchor on the chair so I can keep my torso forward. So it's a prop that's helpful right now in this position where we normally don't have any extra leverage. So now with my torso forward, feeling that those abdominals engaged, the sides of the waist hugging in, can bring that right arm up alongside the ear, and then lift the spine, reach the back, lift the heart up to the sky, keep that back leg strong. If you want to add the second arm, you can. Or again, if it makes more sense to use it as leverage with the chair. Feel the belly work, feel the front of the body stretching and lengthening. Feeling the back of the body really working. Those muscles are engaging beautifully. So good for the back to strengthen this way. One more inhale, and exhale, bend that back knee, come back onto the chair, and place the hands on the thighs and just do a gentle round forward, chin to chest. Big full inhale, nice long exhale, and then inhale forward. I want to make sure my volume's okay. All right. Great. So now we're going to do a few abdominal exercises, which are also a great thing to be able to practice when you're sitting in a chair. So again, make sure your feet are somewhere where your posture can be good. Press down into your feet. Place your hands right in front of you, and now twist back behind you. So taking a twist and feeling the abs hug in as you do so. Exhaling as you twist back. Inhaling to come forward. Okay, we'll do one more each side. And release. And now we're going to reach, hold the chair with your right hand and reach down with your left hand and back up. And now second side. And go side to side. You may not actually need to hold the chair with the second hand, but we're doing some crunches, getting the obliques here. Try to keep your upper body in the same plane, so we're not reaching forward or going back. We're just going side to side, feeling the side obliques really engaging here. Going slow down and back up. One more each side. Such an easy way to get some abs. All right, so now we're gonna do leg lifts. So this is where it's good to be able to hold on to the underside of the chair, the sides of the chair, and lift up one knee and place it down, tap down, and let's do 10 lifts. So 1, 2, 3, make sure the posture is good. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great. Second side. So again, make sure that your pelvis is seated nicely. You retained the nice cervical or the curve in the low spine, and your neck is also not hinging forward. So second side. So lift. 3, 4, hug the abs in. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great. Now bring the hands behind the head. Fingers just press gently into the back of the head. Let your head move back, and then we'll do side crunches. Exhale on the work, so exhaling as you go down. All right, we'll do 6 more. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Great. And now we'll do just sit-ups in the chair. So if you, let's see, how did I do this? I think you scoot yourself a bit forward, bring your hands behind your head, and then let your back come back to the back of the chair and then forward. If this doesn't feel comfortable on your back, another way to do this is to round and lengthen. So it's kind of like cat-cow. So you're creating more of the work. As you exhale and round, you're engaging the core, and then you're lifting. So you can kind of create your own work this way, especially if you have any vulnerabilities in the back, the low back or mid back. Otherwise, it's letting yourself go back and come forward while you keep your feet on the floor. So it's a little awkward, but it's surprisingly hard work. And actually, I'm remembering now is you do need to scoot pretty far forward to make it work. So we'll do 8. 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Now just take a snapshot of any of those that you like that you know you could do as you're sitting in any chair at any point in time. Just get some little abs in. Okay, great. Now we get to stand up finally. So let's bring our chair, face it away from us, and stand far enough back that you can reach your hands to the chair and back your feet back. So we're coming to a half dog, or yeah, it's kind of like dog against the wall. So my hands are on top of the chair, or you could be at the back of the couch or wherever you need to be. You can also do this against the wall, placing your hands against the wall. And then my back is flat right now, so I'm far enough away, I'm not rounding. And then I'm gonna let my head come between my arms. I'm gonna press down into the top of the chair so that engages my arm muscles, my upper arm muscles. My fingers are nice and wide, my pinkies pressing down, and my triceps are engaged here. And then I'm reaching down through my feet, out through my sit bones, and I'm gonna lift all 10 toes and then press them down and really feel all 4 corners of my feet reaching down. So nice and strong in the upper body and the lower body here. Now I'm gonna let my head come down, lower, stretch my shoulders. If there's any kink or this does not feel good, keep the head parallel and keep the ears on the inside of the upper arms. Now bring the head up if you haven't, and now bend your right knee and reach your left hip back. And now switch, bend the left knee, reaching the right hip back. And switch one more time. And again. Beautiful. Now take a step forward. And then we're gonna lean forward. I'm gonna bend my elbows and hold on to my chair, but based on whatever kind of chair you have, you just wanna be in such a shape that you can hold your upper body on the chair and be able to bring the back leg up to parallel. So the idea is that we're not opening up our hip, but our left hip is reaching down to the earth. My back foot is flexed, so my toes are pointed down. Get that the screenshot. Great, and then bend the knee, and then we're gonna pump the foot up to the sky. Trying to keep the back of the pelvis level. So again, not lifting the hip and getting a little bit of a glute workout here. Great, and then extend that leg long. Bring the torso down and really reach that leg back. And now go ahead and open that leg out. So now you can stay holding onto the chair where you are, or you can reach down a little bit further. So we're doing a half moon here with just adding the prop that we have. So now twisting the torso up, bring that arm up to the sky. Beautiful. Now turn the hips back, hold on to the chair, and then bring that foot down. And now we're in pyramid pose. So now, keeping that right foot forward and the left leg behind, go ahead and just take this pyramid leg lengthener here, letting the head come down toward the shin. And inhale back up. Switch legs. So now the left leg comes forward and the right leg goes back. And then bend that right knee. And then let's take a few pumps of our foot up to the sky. Leveling that hip, but also reaching the bottom of that right foot up as we give some glute workout here. Beautiful. Now go ahead and step that right foot back, and we'll take our pyramid pose now with the left foot forward. Oh, and I don't want to forget our half moon pose. Sorry, so bend the left knee a little bit. Now step forward, lift that right leg up, and place your left hand on the chair, so much so that now you can open up that right hip up toward the sky, taking the right arm up to the sky. A little different than usual, but kind of fun to play. Beautiful. Exhale to come forward, bring that foot down, and take a little squat here. Let the knees go wide, widen the feet here, and you can hold on to the chair to give yourself a little bit of lift, or you can bring your right hand down on the inside of that right foot and take a twist up with your left arm up to the sky. And then second side, left hand comes down to the floor or stays on the chair, and then reach that right arm up to the sky. Beautiful. Come back up. And boy, we're getting to the end of class. Okay, so all right, I think perhaps that's all we have time to do up here. So let's come back to the chair for one last. I have so many things I want to do on the chair. But we'll just start to wrap up here. So just coming back to the chair, feet on the floor, hands on the thighs. Let the shoulders come up to the ears and back down the back. And then let the chin come to the chest. And then slowly roll forward into a forward fold. Let the hands slide down the legs. Reach the hands forward. Heel toe the feet out to the side. And then reach over to the right and reach your left hand as far as you can. You can even wiggle the fingers out, reaching. And then back to center. Engage the low belly and walk over to second side. Reach that right arm, those right fingertips. Come back to center and then roll yourself back up. Open the arms wide and let's go side to side. So a little bit of core engagement here. And now, as we did in the beginning, let's just move all around the chair and go ahead and do any of the things that we've done so far if you like. Getting some stretch, getting some twist, getting some ab workout. The idea right now, my goal here is to have you feel comfortable with doing some movements in a chair that help you feel oriented and that you can create exercises and stretches when you are at your desk or in the car. Oh yeah, that's one last thing that I wanted to do is I want us to, so just coming right back to center, feet on the floor. Imagine that you've just gotten into your car. So the thing that is a great, it's just a great exercise to do every time you get in the car is just do some head side to side U-shaped stretches. The other is, as I showed you, this, this twist back. And the other is to do shoulder movements forward, forward and back, so that when you arrive in your car, you're not just in a tense situation. But lastly, and this is, I think this is a really beautiful, brilliant thing to do, is imagine you're holding the steering wheel. So just allow the shoulders to relax. And imagine that you want to look out and see if a car is coming. So we typically just turn with our neck. So what I want you to do is imagine now turning first from from your seat, from your low waist, and then your ribs. So turn to see if you can turn into, you know, get into the other lane. Or if you're looking up into the rear view mirror, it's not a big shift with your eyes, but can you move your whole torso? So the idea here is that we're not just using our neck, but we're really using our whole body. So anyway, that was one of the things that I wanted to relay to folks, that your time sitting in any kind of seated shape can be a little bit more resourced. Okay. So for our last move, we're going to be able to use the chair in a variation of legs up the wall pose. So have your chair, you can have it facing forward or back. We're going to come onto our back, so you can have a blanket or your mat or just be on your floor. And then we're going to bring your legs, so this is going to be our Shavasana. And you can certainly make it as comfortable as you want. You can add extra blankets, pillows, bolsters, etc. But I'm going to scoot my bottom right in front of the chair, bring my legs up, and then come on back. So great to have this opportunity for our circulation to let our legs be up. And then, of course, as I always encourage, wiggle yourself into a comfortable position here. I'm even going to give myself a little bit of neck support because I have this blanket. And I'm going to scoot the chair back a little bit so my legs rest comfortably. And just find yourself in an enjoyable position here. You might feel this nice weightless feeling of the thighs being held by our shins resting on the chair. And go ahead and revel in your shape right now, and hopefully it's super extra comfortable, feels nice and relaxing to be there. And you know, and kind of how silly we're using chairs for yoga today, but at the same time, these are these items we have in our house all the time. So now maybe you could feel like you can use your chair to do some more workouts or some more stretching. So arrive with grace into your Shavasana here. Allow your beautiful bones to take rest. And let your arms rest wherever they're comfortable. It might be alongside the body, could be out with the palms up. You can place your hands on your belly. And of course, you always have the option of placing your hands on your heart too, as a way of just giving some extra loving kindness to that part of your being. Allowing the breath to be soft. So I was looking at some poems today and thought I would share a poem you've probably heard before. I myself have heard it many times, but it really resonated with me today, by a beautiful, wonderful poet, Mary Oliver. And it's called Wild Geese, and it just feels like it's it just felt quite caring for me to read this poem today, so I wanted to share it with you all. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you about mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over announcing your place in the family of things. Wild Geese by Mary Oliver. May she rest in peace. And may we peacefully find our way through the coming days and weeks. So take a moment to just seal in anything of value from this class, if even just this soft rest here at the end. And in the way you might lift a child from their slumber, gently begin to bring yourself out of this shape and towards seated. Finding your way back. And just taking a moment to be with yourself in your upright posture. And taking our hands, palms open to receive, drawing the palms of the hands together, sealing in the warmth and the energy of our practice. And in our sweet little community that's online at the moment, may we care for these animal bodies of ours, and may we feel peace within and bring peace to this burning world right now, feeling the cool, loving kindness descend down on these fiery skies. May peace and goodness be with all of you this week. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you all. It's so nice to see you all. And somebody gave me a good idea, which is that, so last week nobody could get through and there was no way to help address the problem. And so what I want to do is give you guys my email and my cell phone number for two reasons. So, oh, it looks backwards, doesn't it? Well, it doesn't. Okay. It does to me. Okay, great. So it's my email is Cody, my name, Cody, at clearspacebayarea.com. Cody, Cody, at clearspacebayarea.com. So my website is clearspacebayarea.com. I'm a home organizer. So that's another way to find me. And then that's my cell phone. So if you're having trouble, you can also text me. So my text, it's my old Seattle cell I've kept for 25 years. So that's 206-356-6490. So you don't have to take this, but I just thought people were feeling stranded. And I was feeling stranded without you. And I also want to let you know that I am very happy to work with recommendations. People, you know, this part of this class was because somebody had said they were having some low back problems. And it's great to use chair yoga for rehabilitation. And so anyway, I always love to get feedback. So you're welcome to share requests that you have for ways that you want to practice or things to add, etc.
Thank you, Cody.
All right.
Thank you.
Take care, all.
Can you hold that up
It
again?
was
I didn't-
amazing class. It was fantastic.
Oh, good.
I mean, just wow.
I mean, I have to say, I totally dorked out on this chair yoga thing.
I'm so glad to have finally tried chair yoga. I really loved it.
Right?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's just great.
Good.
So thank you.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. You know,
That's
somebody was
it.
like, "Oh, that's like old. That's for old people. I don't want to do chair yoga." And I was like, "No. I think this is some good
Yeah.
stuff here. Some good material."
No, I agree.
Do you
I
mind
agree.
holding up the information again? I didn't get it yet.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
At clearspace dot.
It's clearspacebayarea.com.
Okay.
Yep, Cody at clearspacebayarea.com.
Move it this way. Wait, no.
Is it
that
backwards?
No, it's all good.
It's good.
It's good.
Thank you for mixing it up.
Yeah,
Yes.
no kidding.
Great.
Just
Thanks for-
loved it.
Thanks for your flexible spirits, everybody.
Oh, thank you.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Okay, bye,
Okay,
everybody.
thank you.
Bye.
Hey, sorry, I still didn't get it. I'm trying to put it in my phone.
Oh, sure. Cody, C-O-D-Y,
Okay, at
At-
Clearspace Bay Area.
clearspacebayarea.com. Yeah, and you can also Google me. I mean, my last name is Strauss, S-T-R-A-U-S-S. So if you Googled Cody Strauss, I think home organizer, you'll
Okay.
also get my website. So anyway, but Cody at clearspacebayarea.com
Okay, and the phone again was,
is 206-356-6490.
okay,
6490.
great, thank you.
All
Takes me a
right.
while to get it into my phone.
Yep.
All right, thanks so
All
much.
right. Good night.